Prepare for trouble.
Make it double.
To open the doors of procrastination.
To unite all people in exultation.
We make it spicy but not on cooked stoves.
We extend our reach to the stars and above.
Lois.
Pit.
Curted carrots blast off at the speed of light.
Surrender now, or prepare to fight.
That's right. Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Cultured Carrots, a podcast under Verbabanant.
Yes, we're here today with two special guests, which are... You can introduce yourself.
I'm Pavi from Malaysia and
I'm Zaheer from Bangladesh.
Round of applause.
Welcome!
Yes. So, what do we talk about today? This is very interesting. So, the episode is called Growing Pains in College, and it's not growing pong in college. But we will talk about pain au chocolat as well.
oh. Yes, of course.
And the idea is to understand a bit better how, what was the impact on yourself as a person and on your personal development on moving here to Sciences Po, which I know it's something a bit basic in the sense that we always talk about this, but I think it's important to talk about it because it's a very big part of our experience, and I feel like our growth is really affected by this very big shift, especially considering that we all come from very countries that are not France. So and we want to talk a bit about this. And to start off, let's start actually before in the time frame to the moment in which you were not here and you decided for some reason, I don't know, maybe you were a bit drunk or something, you decided to come to Sciences Po. Not only to Sciences Po, but to Le Havre. That's a very important thing. What were your expectations in general with respect to your university life? What were you expecting out of your university life? Were you even planning on moving outside of your own country?
Well, I think with university life, when it came when it came to my high school, we had a very big expectation that everyone goes to the US, to the liberal arts colleges in the US. That's just how we were. So already I didn't have the expectation that I would move to France. I asked my mom the other day, do you ever think that little baby of yours is do you think that they'd ever go to France? And she goes, nope, never in my wildest dreams. So yeah, already I think that was a very different expectation. But I think overall what I pictured uni to be was to be, a big uni, or at least a uni with over 300 people, a big uni, and I get, all the whole room and boarding, so you have the dorms and stuff, and you get cafeterias. That's what I sort of had the expectation, right?
An actual campus.
An actual campus.
Not a half campus.
Not half campus. Which is so funny, because when I first came to Sciences Po, I was excited to see the campus genuinely. Because I thought it was a nice building. And then Elise is my godmother. Elise goes, we don't own all of it. And I go, what do you mean?
Nice.
Yes.
But no, all things aside though, I think, my expectations were very much different when it came to university. But here we are.
That's how it ended up. Yeah.
No, for me, exactly like Zaheer, I had really, really big expectations to what university would be like. Because even in Malaysia, we kind of have really big universities like the US and the UK. And this whole campus concept is a big thing. And I would assume it's in most universities all around the world. But then when you come to France and you realize a building. And then you walk into
Squared building.
Yeah, and then when you walk into the compound and you realize, wait, half a building. And then
you guys are even getting paid?
Yeah. You're going to the most prestigious universities in the world, if not just France. Number two. So I really had huge expectations. In fact, I thought the building was just nobody just had enough pictures of inside the building. Yeah, nobody had enough pictures of the building. I thought, I needed to go and see it for myself. Yeah. So maybe inside that building, it'd be a load of space. Yeah, but nah. It's really smart.
Honestly, I think it's actually very interesting because for me it was the exact opposite. Our universities in Italy, they have much less than this. You don't have rooms where you can just record the podcast or stuff like that. Wow. You cannot just wander around like this. And I was surprised because there is so much stuff here. You have a music room, you have a soundproof room, and it's so cool. It was exactly the opposite. But I guess we come from different points of view. And you were also talking about the thing that you were expecting more of a chill approach to university, where you could not, I don't say relax, but not study as hard as before.
Correct. When I was younger, I always thought in kindergarten, I was in a Chinese kindergarten where it was funny to say right now. I was stressed. And in primary school, in kindergarten,
Wow.
like we were afraid of this teacher like holding the like
Oh,
cane.
yeah.
It's
Wait, what?
Asia. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Asia, so it's
Yeah,
normal.
yeah.
Like with a cane. So
Okay.
it's
So that
normal.
it's reasonable
yeah.
to be stressed.
Yeah, and then like in primary school, the hell load of work. I was in a Chinese school as well, and then after that, when I entered high school, there's this pressure as well. So it was all hard work. Then I thought college might be a bit lesser, but like I realized even if it's a bit lesser, I'm gonna work really hard so I can get into a good university. Then chill. But after working really hard and getting into a good university, it's more stress. It's a lot more stress.
You never rest.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you don't rest, and that's when like I guess that change that really didn't feed my expectation, but it isn't necessarily a bad thing as well. So this isn't stress that is like killing me. It's stress that is like, oh wow, it's not as chill as what I expected.
Yeah.
But it also isn't as bad as like high school or like anything like as intense as in Asia. Yeah.
And yeah, actually talking about stress, did this change of environment of university have an impact on your mental health?
Well, for me, it's, and this is the hot take, right? But for me, it's like my mental health was sort of positively impacted by moving to Sion's
Popular opinion.
All of Sion's was like, what are you saying?
Yeah, no, I don't think anyone will
Yeah,
agree on you.
yeah, no one.
Absolutely
Better
no one.
mental health in Sion's Pro? What?
Yeah. But I think like for me, it's the whole idea of moving away, right, to such a different lifestyle, right, was amazing. I mean, again, I'd gone to a boarding school before this, so I'd already lived without myself. So it's not like I was struggling with, the whole idea of living by yourself and coping with things by yourself. But getting here was like getting all these responsibilities right now. Go to the bank, do your dishes.
Yeah.
Sorry, not even do your dishes. That's basic. I mean, cook your own food is a lot. Cook your own food. Right?
Do the dishes. That's actually like the mental strength it requires to clean a dish after you've eaten, after you got your reward from that activity.
Yeah, that's
It's so
true.
But it's actually crazy because doing dishes for me was very calming. Like,
Yeah, for
sometimes
some
when I'm
people
really
that's
stressed
okay.
out with, I just go, oh, okay.
No.
My colleague is literally a dishwasher. I think if you hear this, thank you very much for doing the dishes every day.
Yes, thanks to Afik, which is one of our main listeners.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
thank
true.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, so I mean, for me, it's just that having the responsibility is one thing, but being able to know how to use that responsibility is, I think, the best thing. And that's really positively impacted my mental health. So,
And yeah, actually, then I was curious. You talked about your idea of college, and then you come to this campus. You see, it's not even one campus, half campus, and also maybe you were expecting a bigger, more lively city. You were probably thinking about Paris maybe instead of that, and then you come here. So how does it different from like what you were expecting in reality? How does
Did you have like an idealized version of college?
well, definitely, I think. I mean, when you're in the US, UK, it's so idealized. I mean, okay, so what my ideal college would have been is like maybe like a few thousand people.
Uh-huh,
Right? A
yeah,
few thousand
yeah.
people.
Whoa.
Whoa, that's already like the population of LH. But also like, the sort of your cafeterias, your boarding and everything. And the cities, not always actually, because like a lot of colleges in the US are like in rural areas, and I was in a high school which was in a rural area, so that was chill. That was cool. But I think the whole idea was that, right, the campus you get. And when you come here, and here's the fun story, right? Well, I'm very picky about like the campus. Like in my college application time, I was like, I want a specific college. My dad was like, you should apply to LSE, the London School of Economics.
Yeah.
And I went, no. First of all, you have to live in an apartment by yourself. Second of all you do is go to class and then go back to your home. Third of all, it's in a city. Why would I want to do that?
And instead you chose Le Havre.
And instead I chose
Doing exactly the same.
Exactly. The other day I walk into campus and I'm like, wait a minute, I've been doing this thing all along. So yeah.
At least you get to still be in Europe. You're
Yeah,
not
at
like,
least at least I'm in Europe.
Yeah, and you were talking about the fact that like Sciences Po is like completely outside the possible choices that people from your school have.
Absolutely. The first school that I was in for college, it was Alice Smith. This place was filled with expats in Malaysia. So all of them were from the UK. All of them were plenty rich. And their expectations were always like really, really highly ranked universities that aren't Sciences Po, that are always in the US or the UK. Just like every other Malaysian student who has money who wants to go overseas, US or the UK. So how I actually met Seonspo was one day while I had a free period while I was doing my A levels. I sat down and then I noticed like there was just one lady sitting. There was a table and then there was this banner that said Sciences Po, and I was like, weird name, but okay. And then nobody went to her. Like at one point she was just looking at the people moving around, and then at one point she tried to like hand out flyers. And then at one point I saw someone say no to the flyers. And then I realized like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna like check it out. Because I saw something like economics, like economy and society, right? Like, and then I went.
Wow.
Yeah, and I went and I spoke to her, and I realized it's one of the like most ingenious courses you can ever think of. Like it's so diverse, it's so good, it's really like inclusive. It helps you learn almost everything, and that's what I thought. Like an amazing university, and it's like it's ranking above Cambridge and
Number two.
Yeah, number two in the world, man. Number two in
That's
the world.
amazing. On the paper, Sciences Po just looks so good.
Yeah.
So good.
On the paper.
Well, I'd argue like a lot of schools that are good on the paper might not be good like practically as well, right?
But that's why
like,
I think it's also the problem that we come here with very high expectations and then we have nothing to compare
That's
it to,
also fair,
right?
though.
So like
Correct.
we're like there are some problems. Are there problems outside? I mean, I think some things are specific to Sciences Po, but maybe also we are expecting a lot from it.
Yeah, that's true. And also, when I noticed that, I basically just to jump back to the question just now, I thought, wow, amazing. Not just that I get amazing ranking, like my degree is going to be recognized and all of that. It's this amazing of a university experience in the US and UK that all my friends were looking for. And then now you have the additional French culture that like pushed it up. Yeah, and then I was like, wow, going to France, Paris, nightlife, and
Paris, nightlife.
yeah, like croissant and like everything, like the whole package, baguette. And I thought amazing. Like I used to think like you go to the UK, you're walking right into a university filled with Malaysian students. You're gonna eat nasi lemak that's made by Malaysian students.
Oh, wow.
Because it's such a big population of Malaysian students over there. So like it's like once you go there, somehow or other you're gonna integrate with the Malaysians. You don't get to see like the diverse world of Europe, unlike you get in like Sciences Po. And so I thought this is amazing. If I get into Sciences Po, not only do I get all of that like paper stuff, like the amazing qualities and all, but I also get the additional culture, and I also probably will learn a new language, which would be like a fifth language. And like I was like, solid, like perfect future plan. And then when I came here, like this expectation was there. This was being like
For
so,
people listening
yeah.
in the podcast, the first hand was very high, the second hand was very low. Yeah, actually, you can see this episode on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
If
subscribe to the
you're-
YouTube channel, please.
I swear this time is true because it's the third episode I say you can see it on YouTube and it's not there, but this time it's going to be on YouTube. And before we move on, I actually have two things I want to ask. First, can someone mentioned the French vibe, and I want to understand better what French vibe means.
Yeah, did you find
think
the
it
French
was-
vibe you were looking for?
Yes, definitely. I really thought it was, well, no offense, first of all, amazing food, amazing culture.
You know, amazing food is very rare. to
Yeah,
hear.
oh, quite. Look, from an Asian background, it's
Yeah.
like arguable, but snobby. And then you also have pride, amazing hotspots, the smell of pee in Paris, and
Nice!
yeah, like all of those things. I really wanted to experience all of those things. I wanted to see like fashion and how like particular they were about fashion. And I experienced it while I was in Vichy. I was there for a month before I even got into university. So in Vichy, the first day, the next morning after the flight, I went out with joggers. It was summer. I went out with joggers and shoes, and everybody stared at me. And I was like, what am I doing? Is it like, have you not seen an Indian guy before? I thought India just like sends people everywhere, but like apparently not. Then when I went back home and I told my foster father, he was like, oh, you can't wear joggers out. No, what are they for then? Then he said, no, you can't wear it out. It's like
That's just
a
like that.
fashion rule. So yeah, I'm getting the culture for sure. And it's a lot of things that you're learning out of the French culture.
So now it's time to talk about your culture, guys. So we wanted to know, like, if your culture had played like a significant role in the way you are seeing your experience right now,
Right.
like in France. So as someone from Bangladesh or someone from Malaysia, like, how do you look at your own experience in France?
Well, I think as a Bangladeshi, some parts of my culture are definitely very present here. I think like for anyone watching or hearing, you've probably heard me say, "Oh, I'm a Bangladeshi," and that's that. No, but I think the biggest thing is like the tendency to look for other people from your culture. I remember I was at the Sunday market, right, and I was buying like apples or something, and on the other side, they were like 2 dudes. Right? And I look at them in the eye, and my Bangla sense is like activated. And I go, "Where are you from?" In Bangla. And they look at me like, "Oh no, oh no."
Here we go again.
Yeah, but no, that's very much present. But I also think like some other things. I don't know actually. I think it's really just the tendency to look for Bangladeshis.
Honestly, I think it's a very big thing in general. Like
Yeah.
to tend to
Yeah.
look for people of your own country.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Honestly, Italy is very close, so right there is a lot of people, Italian
Yeah.
people. So, but I guess like finding people from countries that are farther away, there's
Yeah.
a less chance, like even more value to that.
Exactly.
And it's a very good opportunity to build relationships. I
Yeah.
think
True.
because like if you go to Bangladesh and be like, "Oh, you're from Bangladesh," you'll be like,
Wow, thank
"Duh."
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, and actually, maybe you mentioned food as well. I think there are some limitations maybe to the food here. You cannot exactly get the same experience you get at home. You don't have your mother cooking for you.
That's true. That's true. Like in my perspective, I think if you're like me, I'm perfectly fine with not eating curry and not eating rice. I'm perfectly fine with it. Like I've eaten it so much at
Nice.
home that like, I'm cool with it. Like I'm okay. I'm okay with eating bread.
I'm
okay
done. I'm done.
I'm okay with baguettes. Like it's okay. I can handle that. But like I know a lot of my friends who came from Malaysia as well. They suffer. They really need like curry and rice. And like one of the first things they bought when they moved into their places were rice cookers. So yeah.
Basic.
No, I miss the curry so much. Yeah.
You know, then this summer you should do internship in Calais.
Oh,
where the only thing you do
yeah,
is cooking
yeah.
curries.
Actually,
Like,
yeah.
literally. And
Calais.
it's called refugee kitchen.
Community Kitchen.
Refugee community
Oh.
kitchen. You literally
That's
cook
so cool.
every day
Curry.
curry for 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very
okay.
big pots. You're there.
Oh. Okay.
Just like in the
Yeah.
weddings, in the weddings.
Oh yeah.
Yes. And then the best thing in the world, you're cooking in a big pot, so the bottom is like you have like burnt rice in the end. It's like
Then you can-
crunchy.
Oh, wow,
I'm
okay.
missing. I'm just going to go back there just for the rice. But about cooking actually, because we were thinking that coming here means maybe seeing responsibility in a whole new different way, because you need to take care of a lot more than when you are in your high school, especially if you live at home with parents. And one big part of that is cooking. And you were talking about before how you learn how to both take care of your own feeding and maybe also of your feeding of your friends, and like making sure that
They're
they have
okay.
something good to eat and they're okay in general.
Yeah. I mean,
Go ahead.
okay, you know what? This is actually very good, given that I can advertise later on. But
Yes,
You
yes,
have
yes.
30 seconds.
30
Let's
seconds,
go.
right? No, but for me, cooking for others, like it was a very big thing in my high school. We used to cook for each other a lot, so it was very reciprocal. I cook for you, you cook for me. We'd call each other over, and it's the same in Sciences Po. A lot of people have cooked for me. They've been very kind, especially when I have nothing at home. And I've really enjoyed cooking for people when I can. And obviously, because we have the bus and bistro. But
What's that? Explain.
What is that?
Explain.
Okay, well, I can explain that. I mean, so every Sunday, my friend Chloe and I, we call 2 people over. So it's like you actually ask us, okay, I want to come to the bus and bistro, and you bring someone with you, and you can ask for anything that you want to have. And we take it, we have a week's notice, so we go get the stuff and we cook it for you.
Amazing.
So, it's a great way to bond with each other. But also for us, it's to be creative with what we're cooking, because you'd never get to cook really special stuff all the time. So yeah, that's really fun.
Yeah, and
Guys,
actually-
go Bus and Bistro.
Follow them on Instagram. Don't forget.
Yes, advertisement here is going to be 500 euros.
Oh,
No, but actually, I'm curious about this. Like, you cook for other people, and you call it the busing bistro. So I assume the level you're projecting it is very high. When I was in high school, I had this problem that whenever I cooked for my friends, I felt like at MasterChef. You have
Right.
these scenes of Joe Bastianich throwing the plate. This is terrible. You're not gross. So, and when I came to Sciences Po, everybody was much nicer to me. So do you experience the same thing? Is it easier to cook for people here?
So, I mean, actually, in high school, it was also pretty easy because we didn't have anything to cook with. What we got was literally whatever vegetables the farmers could bring to us, and we'd just make whatever with that. Maybe an omelet, and that's it. What can you do? How can you judge an omelet?
With vegetable, with An omelette with vegetables.
Yeah, like, mushrooms and...
Okay, yeah.
Do you guys not do that?
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
do,
a
I do,
stupid
don't
joke
worry.
because you didn't mention eggs, but ignore this.
Okay. But yeah, I think here as well, people are very nice about my cooking. I once made gnocchi with months-old blue cheese, but we've discussed that is okay.
Yeah.
You're like, is the rot from the cheese or from the...
Yeah, but people are nice here, and I think the big reason not only is my cooking amazing, but also because that is our dinner for today.
Exactly.
We have nothing at home for today. We have to love this meal. So yeah.
Nice. And I think you were talking about learning a bit more how to be financially responsible, which is a
Yeah.
bit more boring, but I think it's like a big part of like
Yeah.
Correct,
living
correct.
on your own.
I think it's actually really essential in that sense, because like from my perspective, I'm a scholar, so I get an allowance, and so I'm no longer using my parents' money. I no longer feel like, oh, I don't want to spend on anything else other than just anything that's essential. I have money like basically a salary at this point, and like I basically can spend that money. So you have to really use it well. And being Asian and you're in Europe, you are only here for 2 years. After that, you have to go to another country or continent. So my biggest priority at this point is, apart from like academics, I might even put this above academics, is to travel. And like I really want to travel. I really want to see Europe. I want to go around. I want to go and make sure that I can go back home and tell people like Europe is amazing and I've seen everything. So given the amount of money that you're given, you are not getting some CEO salary. So you really have to cut down on costs. You really have to save. You have to make sure that you spend on the right things. You have to make sure the flight tickets are right. You have to make sure everything goes well. So you have to be really financially responsible in that sense. In addition to that, it also like your food matters. And then if you want to go to the gym and fix your body up, you have to like manage a certain separate amount for that. And then if you want to make sure that like, for instance, like your setup, like I run a YouTube channel, so I have to make sure my setup and all is like okay. I have to spend money on that as well, to buy mics, to buy like all of the other additional things that aren't necessities, but to an extent luxuries as well. You have to handle all of that like well. And you have to remember that all those things you can't bring around because you only have 2 years over here. So is it worth it? Is it not? Financial questions are like
Value
Yes,
for
no.
treasure, honestly.
whoa. The question of is it worth it just for 2 years is like the hardest thing to answer. Because like if I buy it here, I need to either sell it before I leave or I have to bring it back.
and it's gonna be a pain.
So-
Like, to do. Yeah.
I think my parents will have to come with a big truck.
At least you have your parents. Bro.
Yeah,
like,
I don't know how we
be
can fly it
happy.
back.
Yeah.
That's true. So we will have like a garage sale or something at the end of the year.
Every year.
50% of the revenue will go to Verbermannen, so we can buy it
That's
here.
nice. The problem is
So we talk about like food and your culture, and what are actually like elements of your culture that you miss the most and you don't miss at all?
I'll go first.
Why don't
Like, I really don't miss. Firstly, the weather.
you
think
don't miss the weather.
Absolutely not. Like
don't
it
miss
is
the-
too hot in Malaysia.
You like to be blown away by the temperature.
Yeah, that's fine. Like I don't mind tornado, take me away. But with the heat in Malaysia, wearing a suit is hell.
Oh yeah,
Wearing-
obviously.
You just need to wear a singlet and like shorts. That's the only thing that can work.
You
for
want to dress up.
Yeah, no, you can't dress up.
No,
like
you
if,
want to
If
dress
I
up.
like, also I'm bad at fashion, so putting on a suit is easy. Covering whatever is ugly inside with a jacket is super easy. Simple stuff, basic. But like in addition to that, of course, I don't necessarily really miss the food unless someone shows me an amazing like picture of like mee goreng, fried noodles. Yeah, like so not much of those things. But I really do miss family, of course, and in my sense, musical instruments, because I spend a lot of time playing musical instruments. And even over here, when I want to post covers on my channel, I can't play my veena because it's stuck at home. And like
Yeah.
the other day, like when I went back home, like just a few weeks back, like I was still in Malaysia. I know like my new dog, like I have a second dog. Like apparently my parents sometimes let him go to the room, and once like I opened the door and like he went in and he just peed on my veena.
That's so sad. What?
Yeah, so I really miss my musical instruments. That's one more
I'm
thing.
sorry.
Did you use the instrument after? Like,
Yeah, I
did you
cleaned it.
clean
I cleaned it. No worries.
I think for me, like the food. My mom once video called me, and they were eating dinner. And
That's horrible.
You know,
She's
it's
always doing that
exactly,
with me. Like,
right?
my
But it's
mom.
everyday
That's
dinner. Like
horrible.
I've eaten this like for like years. But the moment I start salivating, like the moment I start, I'm like, what am I eating for dinner? I'm eating pasta. No offense.
No, but knowing how You probably cook pasta. I get you.
Wow.
The Italian is
Oh well. Anyways, I do miss the fashion a lot. Because for me, what I do every time when I go home is I wear like kurtas. In my language, it's Punjabis that we wear, long sleeve and everything. I really miss wearing those. I can't wear this year because of the weather. What I don't miss about my culture, I think, is just some parts are just so problematic, like the way people might see other people, the way people might see, for example, women, like in society. It's really trashy. At least here, it's not as bad as it might be back home. But I would also add one thing that I have missed in Bangladesh, which I feel like I've gotten in France, is just Bangladeshis being Bangladeshis, which is a lot like French people being French people. They do something really dumb, and you go, that's obviously a Bangladeshi. and you see in France, someone does like something stupid, like, the French.
So French, yeah.
So yeah.
True.
Nice. So I think we got a very overview of this. We might have gone a bit out of track, but I really learned a lot of cool stuff today. No, that sounded very poshy. No, but jokes aside, I was wondering one last thing. If you have to give an advice to yourself, let's say yourself when go to the stand, the Sciences Po stand, picking up the Econ and Society thing, which again, actually, as someone who's one step further, don't take economics and society if you're planning it's amazing degree, but you have to study. It's probably it's a lot of night without sleep, so very sad. But you will find a job after, so that's the advantage of
You respect us.
What is an advice you will give to yourself from the past?
Nothing at all, and I'm gonna stick to that because every single if anything at all that I told my past self about how university isn't like this, and you don't get to join a squash club, you don't get to represent the university for sports competition like in squash, or you don't get the same university experience that you were thinking. The past self probably wouldn't have chosen Sciences Po. In fact, I would have dumped it in the trash. I would have just chosen some local university and just continued that. But honestly, being in Sciences Po is amazing. It's something else. It is more than just having that university campus experience, and I really appreciate it. Honestly,
my heart is melting right now.
Yeah, and it's not just because it's second in the world. It's not just because you have amazing job opportunities and stuff like that. It's the culture, it's the community, it is Sciences Po. It's the Sciences Po.
This was a paid advertisement from Mattia Mishra. Thank you very much.
Smiling right now. He's smiling at us.
Yes, likes this.
So I wouldn't tell my past self anything at all. I'll just look at him and just watch him take that.
Like a middle finger him.
Absolutely.
No,
I cry and recry again all over again.
Yeah. No, I relate with Pavi 100%. I think the whole beauty of this is I wouldn't want to tell myself anything because I know that what I'm doing is learning. Everything that I didn't know, I got to know because I didn't know it. I don't know. It's some inception stuff,
yes.
right? But the whole fact of being in this place where you don't know anything and having to learn it by yourself, and that reward that you feel in learning it and being able to master it, I think is the most beautiful part of this experience. Like Pavi, I have enjoyed my time in Sciences Po. I mean, it's everything, It's even when they start rioting in LH and you're like, God, this is where I am.
Yeah.
And I would say this, and I say this about my high school, but I think I would also say it for Sciences Po, at least in my life, is that for the next 2 years of your life, you're at a place and you're going to feel and see things that you're not going to see anywhere else again, right? So I think that's the most beautiful part of the experience for me.
That's true.
Thank you very much,
Okay,
guys,
so,
for this very beautiful poetic end note. It was Pavi and Zaheer with us on Cultured Carrots.
Thank you very much. As you have heard, Yaya's come to say we have to leave. So this closes perfectly. So 3 special guests today. You two and Yaya.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. You can listen to this. No, you can listen to this on Spotify and you
Google
can watch
Podcasts.
this on YouTube.
Oh.
Okay.
Memory.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, wow.
That's nice.
Nice. Thank you, guys.
Oh, that was nice.
Oh, thank you.
Could you take your time?
Did it just stop?
Yes,